today. What else is it to do but write a little code? So started. Oh, camera look. Oh, perhaps I was auto hosting. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see why my camera is acting up. Oh, let's skip the music. Are doing some Rails work. So here we are, lots of tests. Never get any developers in. Ask me about various things that I'm doing here, but mainly I am writing a little bit of component tests and not component, unit test. Duh. I'm doing a little bit of unit testing. I'm doing of I'm doing request specs and other things. My mic is high setting on. Okay, I don't know. I had some. Okay. Doing right. The vendor can be right, but that's not the part. The part that on is that I've added some functionality that I can have both. I mean, like vouchers that are not only paid a certain amount of servings, but also that they can carry have a cash value. So that is what we're gonna work on now. Actually, I hope I am sound is coming properly. That everything has its, but okay, I don't know if I have bad but anyway, I'm just gonna keep on working. I can have a purchase voucher. So here I want sure that I can a voucher that is of another serving. So let's retest, because I am passing in serving. We're actually not testing, or I can or cannot purchase, or what value these servings has, right? That's a bit worrying. And if there is some background noise going on, that is because my wife and my kid are watching the Eurovision Song Contest, and basically, so that's what background noise might be about. That's perhaps why we are experiencing like peaks in where we're experiencing peaks audio. Who knows? Anyway, where is this stripe test? Stripe test. Right. Test. Right. That's good. Back to. Okay. Purchase. Right. So we're gonna create one describe block. Describe and well, this is the servings. Our variant serve. Right. That, and now right. So this, all of the up in, and then we will have serve. Right. Now we will have another describe. That would be values. Well, not value. Yeah, value. And then it have a for block on that does the a value no value with default value, that is 10. 10 is value. That will do not pass in a value. Then a when it's just expected to create an voucher value 10. So last dot value 10. Run the one voucher. Right. RSpec. Yes. screen doesn't, but it went. Okay, that's good. And so this means that we can copy this entire talk and then value 50. And so say value, let's pass this right, and then have value. Let's run the one. Oh, sorry. Right. And so, right, so run this again because now I forgot. Right, so that worked. Right. Okay, so that's good. And so let's try to get one that is another describe block with an invalid value. And so we want to say like 30. And here we want to say some like to respond error message on with, and we want to say value out of this value, this about the error message like to have here. And we could say something value say value. Oh shoot. I'm in the wrong place. There we go. This is the one. And valid. Hide the value. Can't create. No. Can't. Couldn't. Sure. Right, and this will fail for run the one. And right. All. Right. So we fix this now because we want to create that. So there's like multiple ways to do it, and I'm just going to pick the simple purchase control. Right. So I'm going to set that params value. Right. Right. I'm going to halt text and take a look. Right. So, stop. So let's have a look at what is params value with this. So basically, for those who like to know more about ReactSpec, so what we're doing is actually hitting that particular with a request. In this case, the post request with some parameters. So params get all of the Stripe token. We have a test token because we're in a test environment, so and we are charging for fast food variant servings value. Right, but this vendor, fast food vendor, also have a problem. But we have the value of 30, right? And the thing here is, of course, a bit tricky. We probably at this stage could settle for rejecting the creation of this voucher here on the controller level. On the yeah, but we could also benefit from having that validation on the model level. But there's another thing here. I mean, I am sending in the Stripe token, but for some reason, never actually implemented the payment, which is another to-do thing now that I'm thinking about it. So how should I write? But could have an no. So yeah, so we can fix this like this. I probably could fix it like having a voucher and then add like a permitted values, and that could be array, and I could say 10 and 15 permitted, and then I could say on this because I should be able to access these values directly from my controller. So if I say voucher dot permitted values, can I do that? Undefined method, right? Right, here we go. That's how. So permitted values then include question mark, do that question mark, then params value, of course without spellings. Damn it, fucking killing me. Permitted values include params value. Right, so this is false, right? And if I just set this params value 10, try to run, and that's right. So so in my controller, in my controller, I could say before action. For action. And we could say validate value, validate, say if value, and then we just say this, and then we say rescue, and then we just say met. That message rescue standard error. Right, so that is standard error. Right. No. So am I rescuing standard error? Is that actually being hit here? Where we get with right. Okay, let's run this. Run this. Up. Okay, so here we go. That didn't fly. Oh, that did not fly. Let's see. Right. Because we do a before action. So get the vendor, we validate value. Validate value. Right, let's. Why would it not be? Why would. Oh, it is kicking it. Next, can I do next? Shoot. See, next. I'm can't escape. So, let's see. What is this? This 30. Oh. False. But this is a string, and those values are. But anyway, it's false, right? So okay, so perhaps we shouldn't use a rescue. So we can just say render JSON. I can do a modifier. So we can. I think I could do that unless. Can we do that and format our code? Unless. Oh, so he doesn't want to do that. He wants validate value. Unless voucher. Right. So here I could use a rescue. Here it's probably better. Should I say end return or off the ground? Right. Okay. Good. That was it. That was it. Okay. So we are good. Validate value. Right, but the validate value would probably oh yeah, there's gonna be a lot of checks here because we have two variants of the voucher, and we will look at whether we want to check if the value of the variant servings included in these permitted values but if it's a cache thing, because we have this cache and serving cache, then want to allow for permit. So perhaps we're gonna call this one permitting serving values, permitted serving value, permit like this. Values, and anyway, let's run the whole thing. See if we get any. Right, we're failing on a lot of things. Have this. Oh, right. So first, right. So default value is 10. Right. So default servings value equals 10, and so he purchases instead of the magic number. Right, and so this params, unless yeah, of course, right. So if I just need to check if there is a params value, and I don't know, right? No, unless there is a params value, right? So no, that won't fly. Can I condition that before? Can I condition more actions? Telling, because there will be use cases where we won't pass in this value, and we will use this default servings value. And so this, but the question is that this before action should only be, there should be an if statement, right? No, we can't condition, can we? Like, let's have to check some action or act is stuff if proc. So this is old stuff. Before filters are nowadays called before action. Okay, so if conditional callbacks. Let's have a look. Save. Let's so callbacks or callbacks on the so say if params, if there are params, can we do that? Like params value? Oh, come on. I don't think. Might be okay, but it's good. To be honest, I do not do C#. I am doing Ruby and on Rails. I'm writing an API, building an API in Rails at the moment. Thanks for the follow, by the way. I appreciate it. Don't have many of them yet. Fairly new. But I am working on. And the system is just small restaurant management system. We'll managing prepaid lounge vouchers or gift cards, and I am writing RSpec and apparently failing at it. No, that's part of life. That's part of life. Right, so we can't do. I can pass in a proc perhaps, or a lambda. Pass in a proc. Oh, I cannot pass. Right. Right. This looks good. Looks so bad that it hurts. So bad that it hurts. But wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad. Wow. Actually, apart from this one, 15, but that's another. Why would that be? What? Oops, no. That. Right. but before we run it, let's just get y. And is that we are right. So let's have a look. Value is 50, and we are not that this evaluates false because right. I have to say to I integer because it's a string, and I have to, come on, I have to right. So I need to transform this to an int. I have to this back to the drawing board, and now we've learned something, that I can pass in a conditional to a before action hook in my controller, which is interesting piece of knowledge. Could come in handy other circumstances as well. So should be able up and run the whole enchilada. What do we? Green output. And so with default value 10, with value 50, valid parameter is database, email parameter is not present in without valid vendor name. So apparently I was under the impression when I was writing the original that every vendor will have a unique name. Okay, but do I have a validation on that? No, I do not. No, sorry, a vendor. Or saying that that we are ending in. So apparently I'm using the uniqueness of a name, but I am not setting a validation of just validating the presence. But we probably need to validate the unique name if that's what we're trying to do here. Right. So let's go over to our more or less beloved should amateurs and check the documentation for validate unique. Validate unique of name. Oh, you can also scope it. Choose something. Right. Right. Let's have a look at. So they actually document a lot of, or provide a lot of examples in code. So validate of should validate. Validates permanently true. Right. validate. Let's have a look. Because validate. Right. Because there is a shorthand for this instead of using. Right. So this is. This is. Okay. So I would like to say validates presence of, and then I would validate name, and then I would they should validate. So my where are my specs? The vendor, and then there are no validations. What are you? Association commented out these categories. Right. This. To validate and validate of, and can I pass in an array? Can I pass in, because we have an address of name description. Let's try that. What bad could happen? Nothing. It's on line 20. First of all, yeah. Oh. Then we do RSpec. Spec. C. What? Oh sh. Oh. Right. Oh, that didn't fly. Right. It matches validity valid by matching and following error was null value. Match it with a record with. Right. So we create a subject. It's a subject. Yeah, I don't have to, but perhaps. Right. Because we have what? So so create vendor, then Let's try that. Low hanging fruit, right? Factory is expected to be valid. Okay, but right. Right. Was just a typo. So, whoa. Right. That's not gonna apply. So I need validate. Right. So let's just write. First of all, 22 is passing. First of all, if 22 is passing, that is passing. And that is passing. Now we just set had two more attributes. One, and we're not the same, but rather add the description, and then we had what was it? Primary. Oh, I know. So right, let's run the right one, and we are good at one. Right, let's run the entire vendors. Right, so we probably want to change the validate. And I sense a little bit of inconsistency by naming. We have a unique of name, which is not a bad thing. Okay, so let's just run the user can purchase vouchers spec. This is the endpoint. This is the RSpec that we're. So that is passing. Okay, so let's make a commit. Let's run the entire thing. Well, it's not that big of a testing yet. I think we have like 5 parameters. That's that should, but we are fairly well tested. Actually, I should take some time and set up continuous integration and definitely coveralls. I should definitely set up coveralls so I can measure the test coverage on this. So Rails API, people, for the win, tested with both specs or tests and request specs. And request specs are a specific variant of tests that actually perform we're doing an HTTP request, the endpoint, and we are checking whether the output that the server is responding with actually does what it's supposed to do. And then we have some other tests in this application. What we do not have is like controller specs and stuff like that. I don't write these kind of specs. However, what I am writing is like because we are like extracting the responsibility for serializing our objects to specific classes that we refer to as serializers. And when we use serializers, or want to write some specifications for that. So that's why we have these kind of things. And basically, pretty much these are the serializer specs. And here we are making different type of requests to different endpoints of this API. And the way I do it, I often say the HTTP verb in the beginning of the spec, and then the path that we are hitting. So here we are making a GET request to API vendors, and then passing in an ID. And here we POST request. Here this is the path where we are validating the voucher. This is an authorization path, and here is a purchase path. This is the one I'm working. So we have various scenarios, like we're hitting this this path from various perspectives. So I should probably take a bit. I should actually make sure that we are returning the right status code back to the, and before actually before we make a commit. So good thing in VS Code is that we can collapse these. So we have variant here is the value of 10 and default value, so we should get 1. So the status code 201 is almost as the 200, which is the that everything is okay, but according to the HTTP specifications, that is actually code that should be returned when you are creating a resource on the server. 201 means created. So that's good. So that's the default value of 10, and then we have the value of 15. Check for 1 here as well. With an invalid thing, we should say 422. 422 means that it's a non-processable entity. And now in the purchases controller, want to actually return status 2. And in Rails, there are actually shorthands for this. Well, not shorthand, but they are translated into symbols so that to enhance readability of code. But I don't know, I never got into the habit of so I'm just doing right. Right. Okay, let's see again. Not the entire thing, but rather just we can purchase vouchers. And right. Good. So let's do status. And we modified a few. Right. So, and basically what we've done is that added validation. Right. Go to we add every, and then we say adds validation for name. Then we can say add specs for validate. Right, and then we add purchase endpoint for purchase voucher and add specs for purchase values of voucher voucher with values with service of variant serving, and then fixes magic feature. Right. I think that would be that. That's the abstract. Okay. So we have that fig, and then that's the variant serving, right? So we want to add another describe block, and this, and then we would just say variant cache, right? Because that's another variant, and this is the addition, right? This is what we basically came here for. So the fast food restaurant that we accommodate, in this test environment called convenient fast food, will apart from prepaid vouchers also sell cash, like, values. Buy something for like 200 crowns or $200 to spend in the restaurant, right? And so we know that all of this valid params stuff is working. So just use, first of all, we're going to read this before, right? Where are we? There we are. Right, so we're going to reuse the cache. So we will cache here, cache, and then we will just want to get of 2 or 1, but also want to get the registered. So that is okay. But we also want this to voucher last cache truth. This is the problem. Well, not problem, but this is what we want to happen. So we're going to run the one on 140. 100. Right. 100. Right. Hidden is voucher of variant. Your variant. Have variant. Have to be cache. Which actually I probably need to add this. And well, this persisted. Right, so I probably just to add this serving. Right, like when I run 96. To run 96. And that passes. How about the pass? Well, down. Oh, all right. 100 and right. Right. That's good. But the problem is that I choose. But the problem is that it has a value of 10, right? Because that's the default. Right, so variant cache with right. Oh, it's gonna be a massive. Gonna be a massive spec. I mean, already way too long. Makes it hard to read and follow. So this one is not a very interesting. Very interesting, my opinion. Right, right, right. How can we happen? So okay, so gonna add a new tab. Variant cache with without value value per. But will I ever do this? Will ever be the not sure. Grab these guys and then and what are we doing without variant? Variant nil. Variant can't be blank. Okay, so that's okay. All right. I would like hash to be without value parameter. But so what should happen with value parameter? probably eject it. Up, comment guys out, right? Yeah, we're gonna later. Let's get this. Get 420, and then we should say something on with an error message. You have to provide a value. You have to provide a value. Right. Or value can't be blocked. This will come into play a bit later when we actually have a valid key. So I would argue that not be able to create a voucher that is supposed to carry a cash value unless you provide a cash value, right? So right, this will start failing for. I'm gonna run the one on 146. And we are asking for happen. Right. Good. So now we're gonna go to the purchase controller, create action, and we're gonna set a binding pry for those. That is the of debugger in JavaScript. Way to halt text code. So let's run this guy again. And here we are, right? So if we take a look at the parameters that we are passing in, we're saying variant cache, right? So could in principle use a ternary if what we could do is to just return an error message if this value is not part of the parameter. Right, so we could, in our validate value here, if params value, or perhaps could we use or? So if there is no value, but the parameter, so could we say, let's try this, say or params variant equals right, we don't right, one is cache, right, actually as it can halt text validate, right, potentially bundled it together. One single function. Let's try that. Now let's run but rather just 150. up and say 158. Don't want to run too many specs because that confuses. Really? So params and param variant cache. Okay. And so we are not passing anything like this. Okay. So I will make the least possible, write the least possible code. Probably not be so pretty at this stage, but here you say that unless, let's see, double unless, is that even, unless params yeah, unless params variant unless params variant, hold on a second there. So this is, it's really not really have this in the same. No, we will not have this in the method. That's a logical error on my part. So validate. No, we will not do that. We basically before action validate value or cache value if proc param. Tack så mycket. Proc, and then we just this. And then we just private method here, and we say that validate cache value, and there. But oh gosh, params value. So this one will actually say and probably serving. I feels like I'm making a bit of a mess here, but let's see. So let's just set a binding. Let's just binding here and see if we can hit this. If we can hit. Oh, thank you. Candy. Lots of candy. Thank you, wife. Scared me though. I was in the middle of thinking. Showed up in the ambushed me behind and candy. And some Coca-Cola. That's very, very nice of her. Right. So back to the drawing board. Right, so let's do this for now. And this is a false spot. And so what do we have on 150? Right, the 422. So let's run one. Yeah, Um, purchases line food, line food. Really? I don't see an error here. We have this and we have this and class. Failure error hash. Unexpected end of end. What am I missing? I am clearly missing something. Ah. Um. Couldn't be this. Right. So that's not. God damn it. I can't see it. I can't see it. What is this fast? What? What are you talking? Purchase line 5. Yeah. So this def validate is an end. Nothing here. What are you? Kind of hate when it's happening. But I do have an end. Private. Oh. One semicolon. Of course it is. Right. Right. Variant cache control. So, and there is no thing here. So, you can say unless, and yeah, so we can just say permitted cache value, and let's say 100, 150, and 500, which is of course not exactly handled and handled, I don't know, by handled by. And so controller, we can just say voucher hash value. Grams value. yeah, and then we just a mess. Random message, and we say have to provide a value. Kind. Okay. But not 100%. Okay, perhaps. Right. So let's run this. Unfold. And we're going green. And time consuming. Settle for that it's time consuming. Let's have a bounty. Okay. So I'm gonna fix this. And here I'm gonna say subscribe. And I'm gonna comment them. And here with a value. With a valid value. Okay. Oh. So I'm gonna actually take this array and iterate over. Shit, how do I do it? Oh god. I can't remember how I do an each iteration of Rails. Yeah, I mean, sorry. Dot. So embarrassing. Oh, come on. Oh, do, yeah, so it's variable that comes after the. Right. Damn, that was. And so we're just gonna do a for log, and I'm just gonna say value the value that, and then just here status, and we should hash, and we have 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 a value and just string here and value, and then hash value Right, so we're just gonna run this times. So we can take 7. Got 500. What do you? Really? Apparently we created them, but we created them values. Let's run. Right, so value now is okay. Why can't I escape? Fuck is so sure fast. Exactly. So the fuck. Okay. Do I have to be that? What? Come on. I shouldn't be even writing this test. Right. Okay, so finish this up. Let's describe um, um, valid value of and then value. Oh, come on. It doesn't. Then we just up. Now it works. Right, so we have these and so valid value valid value. It's fucking double. Right. Say I would add a before block, and then we would say value 30,000. Then we would say full. Right. Right. So right. So we basically add this. Right. And that's how we do this. That's about it. Run the whole purchased by end. But then again, if we have the manager or the vendor operator of have to modify some other, and then of course have some issue adding or consuming those from the client. But that it is taking longer now to run the tests. It is what it. 285 examples, right? And we changed it. We added the specs for hash variant and some other stuff. Right. Let's head over here. This right. And we would say adds cache permit cache voucher adds no, I don't have for action to value and adds specs hash var. I think that right. To stream and it's short, but the create method is a little bit a little bit long. Not that long. Because we're setting the user and owner, something that probably can hide by in. Yeah, we could probably extract that in a private function. It's too long. Right. This actually works. Like line 11 is okay because we are validating the hash value. We have this variant of hash. So this will never kick in. Never kick if the variant is serving. But it's not very readable. People might, whoever reads might think that this is set. This could be set even if we are dealing with a variant of hash. But I'm still glad that I got all of this out of the way on this, because tomorrow I want to work on generating those Fs for the cache variant. Right. Right. Let's have a look at that. Right. Oh, and I hate when I. Oh. I and hash values. Git amend allows us to change the error message typo. Problem is that the amended commit actually has a different hash, different hash. So if I do git log, oh, right. So this one has 91, and here I have a different hash value. I'm gonna have to. That's okay. We've been through. And then dash. Okay. Right. That's the way it is. We did something good. Yeah. Currently got a lot of followers, for whoever is not into followers, of course. And coding it what it is. But I enjoy it. I think it's great. It makes me feel things I do and about myself. Hope. Well, tomorrow morning I'll be back online. Stuff. and hopefully have some time then. Very much attention. Nice. Tomorrow. That does it for me for tonight. It's up, and I'm happy with what I did.